career series. My name is Jared Oluoch. I am the associate chair for the department, and I'm also the program director for CSED and IT. It's my pleasure to welcome you today. Just briefly, I would like to give you an agenda of what we will do today. I'll bring this over here. I will give a brief welcome and introduction. And after that, we'll turn it over to our panelists. We have students and alumni. So we have Bethany, Alexander, Logan, Yash, Andrew, Jared, Joshua, Marcus, Shane, and James. They will all talk to us about their experiences at the department in their programs and how those experiences help them in their careers. And then we'll spend some time looking at the highlights of our programs. We have 5 programs, so we'll give you just the high-level profiles, and our program directors are here. I will introduce them at the most appropriate time. And Gabe and Ryan will talk to us about admissions. And after the program highlights, Manarada will talk to us about the CoOp program. So again, welcome. And I hope you enjoy this presentation. And if you have any questions, please feel free to stop me or send me a chat. So then, let's go to a brief overview of the ET department. So engineering technology, or ET, we emphasize problem solving. We use labs and we teach you technical skills that you will use when you eventually get to your careers. The way to look at ET is to view it more like a ramp, an on-ramp that provides you with an academic path to an engineering career. So our academic programs are diverse, and we try as best as we can to reach to a diverse student demographic. And as we say, ET is an alternative academic path for engineering careers. So the degree is in engineering technology, but the career is in engineering. When you join our program, we don't look at you as freshmen. We look at you as a graduating class, because our goal at the end of it all is to ensure that every student who steps in our doors will graduate with a degree within 5 years or less, or within 6 years or less, depending on your pace. So more specifically, in our department, we have 5 programs. We have construction engineering technology. Let me put my highlighter here. So we have construction engineering technology, CET. We have computer science and engineering technology, CSET. We have electrical engineering technology, EET. We have IT, and we have mechanical engineering technology, MET. And we'll look at them in more details much later. So let me just give you a brief highlight of what we offer in the Department of ET. The first is that when you join our programs, you will have a very individualized focus. The faculty will work together with students, will spend time with you to provide you with hands-on education. We have what we call the ET learning centers. What these are opportunities for our students, our undergraduate students who took classes that you are now taking, will help you with tutoring. So if you have any questions, you could ask the instructor, you could ask the teaching assistant, or you could talk to a tutor who would spend more time with you. We have labs and state-of-the-art equipment to ensure that other than giving you theoretical skills, we impart you with the much needed technical skills that you need to succeed in your academic paths. Our faculty have a wide range of industry experience. Most of our faculty have worked in industry for at least 3 years or so. When they join our programs, they bring the expertise from industry and they mesh it with the theoretical knowledge to give you an all-rounded educational opportunity. At the end of your 4 years, maybe 5 years in your programs, you will do what we call a senior capstone design project. What the project does is that it takes the experiences you've learned in class, the skills you've learned in class, and it stretches you further to then apply those skills to solve particular problems in industry. For example, in this senior capstone design, these students designed a classroom lockout. So if there's shooting somewhere or there's something where the classes are locked out, this app will be able to tell us where the lockouts are and which zones are safe. Other students designed a zero-touch sanitizer system. In a different capstone project, the students designed an enduro kart design for the Daytona International Speedway. And what we also have are paid co-ops. We'll talk about the co-ops much later, but just a brief overview is that you would spend time in industry and time on campus so that you practice the skills you learned in class, you practice them in industry, but we'll talk about the co-ops shortly. So I want to switch gears here and I want to turn to the student experiences we have. So we have current students and we have students who have graduated. So I'll give you the particular order in which they will present. They will have about 2 minutes to talk about their experiences, and I encourage you to engage with them, ask them questions, send them text, chat in the chat box. So the first to start will be Bethany. She's a CET major. She did some co-ops at Lathrop and Charles and Virginia Hickman Hospital. She'll talk to us about her experiences. She expects to graduate in fall. Next will be Alexander Mesa, who is in CET. Next will be Logan Polecki in IT. Then Yash in CSET. Then Andrew Kessler in IT. Jared Brown, MET. Joshua Higgins, he's an attorney. His major is CSET, he graduated. Marcus Marcelli works for the US, is a mission element leader at the Cyber Protection Brigade. He'll talk to us about his experiences. And then Shane will talk to us about his experiences at UT and maybe at First Solar. And James Gonya, he's an EET graduate, also a part-time instructor. He'll give us his insights. And after that, we'll go to the program highlights. So what I'll do now is I will stop sharing my screen and I will now give a chance to Bethany. Bethany, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Bethany Hirsch. I'm a senior in the Construction Engineering Technology Department. I have co-opted 4 times with the same company, like Jared said. And during my second co-op, I had talked to a few colleagues and I'd actually switched majors. So originally I started out in civil engineering and I switched to construction engineering technology. I didn't really want to do the design side of things. I wanted to do more of the construction side. So literally my first semester after switching, I had classes that fit my co-ops so well. There were things that I had done on co-op that I was now learning in class, and I was like, wow, I'm already ahead of it. And then I had classes that I later used in my co-op, like I had an estimating class, and I was just in estimating for my last co-op. And then I had like soil classes that would teach you about the different types of soil and how different structures would settle in that soil. And you would never think that you would need to know that. But then when you're out on like a hospital project like I was on, it's a huge hospital and you're going to need to know if it starts to settle or something, because then the walls will start to crack. And honestly, with all the classes I've had, I think most of them, if not all of them, have helped me in my co-ops, and it's been really beneficial.
Thank you, Bethany. Logan Polecki, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi. So I'm Logan Pilecki. I'm a senior in the information technology department. I'm on my 3rd co-op right now with Emerson Climate Technologies. They build compressors. They're a subsidiary of Emerson Electric. I've done 2 co-ops at Marathon Petroleum as well. One is kind of a database engineer, and then the other one as a kind of an infrastructure help desk role. A lot of the classes I've taken in the IT program have prepared me for these help desk roles. I know I had small computer systems that I was able to learn all about computer hardware, and then other database classes that I've taken in the past have really helped me out. A lot of the programs here teach about technical skills, but another thing I think have really helped me is the soft skills. So being in the ET department, kind of being able to be in labs with other people has really gotten me to work with other people better and really improve soft skills. And I've talked to a couple managers now, and they've really been impressed with not just me, but other University of Toledo students and how their soft skills come out of the college as well. And I think that's pretty important to highlight.
Thank you, Logan. So
Yep.
between the databases and the hardware, which one was most challenging?
Probably the databases, just because I had less experience working with that, but it was definitely interesting to kind of get to know it better.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. And Yash. So Yash, can you hear me? Please go ahead. And by the way, Yash is one of our tutors in the CSET and IT program. So maybe he'll give you some insights also about his tutoring job as well.
Hello, yeah, I can hear you.
Go ahead.
Hello everyone, I'm Yash. I'm a sophomore here at UT, and I'm also a tutor. I was just hired as a tutor this semester, so I also help students who have problem in CSET 1100 and in CSET 1200. I just help them out. And well, I did my freshman year online from India, and I got to learn a lot of things. My first semester, actually, I was doing Python. So I learned a lot of Python. And then my next semester, I took Mr. Jarrett's class and I was able to learn a lot of advanced concepts of Java. And now I'm currently searching for my co-op. And but as I go through the qualifications required for the co-op, I just got to like realize that how much I've learned and how ahead I'm of my other peers, like who would be applying for their co-op, because pretty much everything that I learned in these 2 semesters, it's like a qualification for the co-op. So I guess like I'm really well qualified to get a co-op, and if I like try a little bit more harder and if I just solve a little bit more problems and do competitive programming, maybe I would be able to easily land a co-op. And here as a tutor, I'm also responsible for helping anyone out who has problems in CSET 1100 and 1200. Well, honestly, I think that I can try to help even other students out, like who are of different courses.
Thank you, Yash. So as a tutor, give us a brief overview of your everyday job. If you go to your office virtually or face-to-face, what are some of the problems that students come to you with and how do you help them solve their problems?
Yeah, so well, some of the problems that students come to me would be like just like general problems. They have like doubts regarding how a certain program works, or how they I help them build the logic that's necessary in order to solve a problem. I don't I kind of guide them to the solutions so that they can build the logic on their own instead of directly like telling them the answer. So that way I think it helps to build their problem solving skills, which is very essential when in CS. So I help them do that. Other than that, I like just help them out with general syntax problems, or any issues that they might have in running a program on the computer, or like installing a software, anything like that.
Thank you, Yash. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Andrew Kessler, can you hear me?
Sure can. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So like you said, my name is Andy Kessler. I'm currently majoring in information technology. A little bit about me. I'm actually involved in certain groups on campus, such as the first year Rocket Engineers. And I'm also in the first chapter of the National Society of Leadership and Success here on UT Toledo. Let me first start off by saying that UT Toledo is great for my major and great to help me prepare for my future. They have an extremely robust engineering program here, and they're very passionate professors and teaching assistants that help me get the most out of my education here. I'm only a freshman here, but my experiences thus far are 5 stars out of 5. Even though I still have a long way to go before I receive my degree, I feel like I've made serious strides towards my end goal already by not only just getting involved on campus, but also being able to delve deep into my schoolwork to make the most out of it and to get the most information I can to grasp the topic. So I myself am very excited to see where my experiences here at UT go from here, and I'll definitely be getting involved with the co-op opportunities here as well. And hopefully those watching will seriously consider UT Toledo as a front runner for their future college.
Thank you. Now, you talked about being involved in the rocket engineers and the leadership program. Why did you get involved in those extracurricular activities? And anything exciting about them?
So yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about FIRE. That's the acronym for them. But first year Rocket Engineers is a really, really great way to make friends in the College of Engineering and also gain some experiences actually in the real world For example, something that they've done in the past is go to the Spangler Candy Company and see how that whole process is made, or how that whole process is done to make your favorite candies. I'm actually an officer now for fire, and we're looking at doing similar things like that. So it's really great to, one, get involved so you can make friends, lots of friends. There's about 150 people in fire, so easily you can make plenty of friends that way. And two, gain real world experiences.
Thank you for it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
All
you.
right. So my name is Joshua Higgins. I graduated just last spring as a CSET student. I also had a minor in physics. I'm actually an Ohio licensed attorney and work for McMillan, Sabansky and Todd, LLC, which is right downtown Toledo. It's the largest intellectual property law firm in Toledo. So basically what I do there is I prepare patent exams, respond to office actions from the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and throughout, it's a little bit different than most people. I started off with a political science degree, completed that, then went to law school, and then from there I went to UT Engineering. I have to say, out of all the degrees, UT Engineering was definitely the most beneficial towards my career, because I prepare patent applications which basically describe an invention to lawyers which have no idea how technology works, so that they can obtain rights to exclude other people from producing it. I use almost all my classes I had at engineering. I use my embedded systems, my circuitry, my programmable logic controllers, computer programming. I deal with all this on a daily basis because I deal with technologies like electrical connectors, physics-based inventions like plasma jets, medical devices such as, hip replacements, knee replacements, things like that, and even chemical inventions. I didn't technically take a chemical class at UT. However, the logic that was installed to me through the engineering program itself has made it where I can develop and actually learn what I need to know in order to complete the patent application. Unlike a lot of people, I never did co-ops at UT Engineering. However, I wish I would have. It would have given me a more hands-on approach on how things are engineered and such in order to fully understand inventions better.
Thank you, Joshua. I remember the day you came to my office, you wanted to enroll in the CSET program. And I'm now happy that you are graduated and that you are an attorney. So if I have any patent and I have any trouble, I know who to run to.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So as you guys heard, I'm Jared Brown. I'm mechanical engineering technology. I'm actually a senior this year. So for me, I couldn't decide which type of engineering I'd like to do. And the one thing with mechanical engineering and mechanical engineering technology is you get a little bit of everything. So when I was back in high school, I got to learn different types of engineerings. I learned electrical, I got to learn mechatronics. I took like as many physics classes as I can. And the one thing with MET is it's a whole lot of physics based. It's a whole lot of like book questions, equations, and that's right up my alley. So for me to go through this whole program, just have everything basically how my mindset works is here's a formula, plug in the information that you're given, manipulate some stuff to figure it out, and then get a final answer. That's how I like work and figure out everything.
So Jared, if there's a student here who is doubtful, who wants to go to mechanical engineering for some reason, they're doubtful about high-level math, and they want to come to MET, what advice would you offer them?
I mean, you could always work to figure out what kind of level of math you are. There's always going to be people like Yash, he's also a TA. I'm a TA myself. There's people who are help to get you there, figure out what you need to do, and like figure out different study ways to get around to suit you the best.
Thank you, Jared. I appreciate it. Thank you for your insights. And now I'll go to Marcus Marcelo, who was my student, and now he works with the US, I believe US Army.
Having me, but No, as Jared said, I'm Marcus Masello. I graduated in 2018 with a degree in information technology. Right now, I'm a first lieutenant in the U.S. Army, specifically the Cyber Corps, and I work here at Fort Gordon, Georgia, just outside the city of Augusta, where the Masters tournament is, for if there's any golfing fans there. But I work in defensive cyber operations, cybersecurity in a nutshell. There's always active threat out there in the world, so we're always defending our systems and making sure that businesses and government systems could continue to run without any incidents. So going back to my experience at UT, even though it's been over 3 years since I last stepped foot there, I would say it set up a good foundation for me. Most specifically, what I enjoyed most was the fact that the IT department or IT degree, excuse me, allows me to take classes over at the business side and then also classes here at the engineering. So that really helped me a lot since I was able to see these applications work out, see how they're actually used by businesses, but then also know the technical side, the theory side behind it. And that's been really instrumental with my day-to-day job. If we're going to a site, I need to know how to communicate to business people or just military people in a way that's outside of just technical speak, but also knowing how the back end works so I could, go ahead and fix a threat if there is one. So a few perks. They also set me up for successes. Some certifications that we take. So the Cisco class that I took at UT was pretty much almost a copy, or almost it prepared me exactly for the CCNA, the Cisco CCNA exam, which I was able to receive. Then also a lot of the Foundation for Security Plus exam that was set up right there during my time at UT. So overall, I'm very thankful for it. And it helps me each day that I'm working here at Fort Gordon.
Thank you, Marcus, and thank you for your service.
No, thank you, Chair. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. James Gonya, I can see you. James actually was a 2019 Toledo Young Engineer of the Year and is also one of our part-time instructors.
Hi.
James, go for it.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, my name is James Ganya. I'm a part-time professor here at UT. I graduated from the EET department at back in spring of 2017. I did 7.5 co-ops when I was a student here at UT. I can't recommend the co-ops more. They were awesome. They helped me understand what industry is looking for and whatnot, and I went with it and I did 7.5. So I did get Young Engineer of the Year for Toledo in 2019, as well as 2021 Ohio Young Engineer. And it was because of UT's influence and how they're represented and how well they are looked at in the industry that I was able to, they said, hey, you graduated from UT. That's a huge plus. So all of that combined, it was really UT that really got me on the right steps to becoming what I am today. I currently am a controls engineer at the Whirlpool Clyde operation, and all of my classes that I took, pretty much all of them, I use day to day. And mechatronics is a huge one, PLCs, system integrators, and the database class are ones that I use all the time. So this program was really useful and helpful to me in my career.
Thank you so much, James. I appreciate your time. So what I will do now before we transition to our program highlights is I want to spend maybe 3 minutes for our prospective students to just ask questions to our students, to our alumni. You can ask, you can unmute and ask, or you can ask in the chat and we can answer them. So about 2 or 3 minutes if you have any questions to our students, our current students and alumni. So with so many engineering disciplines, how did you pick yours? So any of our students can answer this. We have MET, IT, CSET. How come you just picked the one you picked? Any of our students can answer that question.
I'll answer that question if you don't
Yes,
mind.
go for it.
So I picked computer science, engineering, technology due to the fact of where my career was heading. I needed to be able to understand multiple different areas of technology and have hands-on access to actually learn how to do it. Whether it be from like coding in Python or learning how to program a
Java.
logical, Java. Whether it be electrical circuits in Professor Evans's class. Or anything like, assembly language, knowing how the computer works correctly, or embedded systems, how, the programming comes together with the technology to create a product. I had to be able to understand all of that in order to actually to do my job. So when I got the hands-on approach, in programmable logic controllers or embedded systems where we actually created a project, that's what helped me with my career. So that's why I chose CSET.
Thank you. And here's another question for any of our panelists, students and current and former. So when you are looking for your careers, your jobs, and you got your first paycheck, tell us a little bit about, you don't have to tell me your salary, but tell us a little bit about your pay compared to the national average. Do you think based on your degree, you get paid better or lower or just about the same? How does your salary compare nationally to same positions nationally?
I could talk a little bit about that, Jared, if you don't
Yes.
mind.
Go for it.
No, so I mean, with the military, my salary is pretty set. It's all searchable online, of course, but there is a little bit of incentive since cybersecurity and tech IT in general is such in demand. The Army did recognize that, so I actually do receive a little bit more than just a regular first lieutenant in the United States Army. So that's definitely a plus. And whether I stay in for life in the Army, or if I decide to get out, there's multitudes of ways I could continue to serve the country, and through multiple businesses that are all nearby, Fort Gordon, and a lot of them are starting to move remotely now. So definitely with a degree in IT or any of the similar degrees that UT offers, you could be pulling in definitely above six figures easily. I would say right outside of college, or with just a couple years of work experience under your belt.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. What I will do now is I will transition to look at the highlights of our programs, CSET, CET, ITE, and MET, and I will share my slides again here. I want to give you a brief highlight about the CSET program. We have a minor and a concentration in cybersecurity. Like Marcus just said, cybersecurity is a big area. So all students who join other programs other than CSET and IT, you can minor in cybersecurity. If you are in CSET or IT, you can have a concentration in cybersecurity to improve your chances of employment. We also have a minor in software engineering. So if you are in any program other than CSET and IT, you can declare a minor in software engineering. So you could have a degree in MET and a minor in software engineering or a minor in cybersecurity. We teach you how to program, how to write software, but more than that, fundamentally, we prepare you with soft skills so that as you become project managers in software engineering, you have the needed skills to look for what the customer is looking for, customize it, and then give him or her the product that they need. So I will now turn this to Dr. Luis Mata, who is the program director for the construction engineering technology. Dr. Mata, if you can hear me, please go ahead.
Yes, hello everybody. Great to be here. My name is Luis Mata, and I am the program director of construction engineering technology. So our program, Jared, if you can get the next slide, please. When you look into our program, it covers the design, construction, and the management of engineering projects. Okay, that goes from residential to commercial, highways, buildings, and such. Now, a common question that I have from potential students and students who started in one program and wants to get to another, it's that what is the difference between construction and civil? So Jared, if you please kind of add all the slides themselves. You can, here is, you get a little comparison between construction engineering and civil. In construction, we get several classes in structural, materials, designs, also graphics, and by that I mean blueprints, drawings. We also cover classes on surveying and project management. So basically, we take the courses from civil engineering that we apply in construction, and we expand our curriculum with construction management courses. Next slide, please. So if you, yeah, please go ahead. And so most of the our graduates, they find employment or they work in the construction field directly. I mean, here is an estimators, project managers, field engineers, safety coordinators. Some other graduates, I would say maybe 20-25% of work for consultant firms. That is as an engineers, as a field representative, designers, and also design project managers. Also, we're going to have graduates that have been working for government agencies like a city, council engineers, Ohio Department of Transportation, the Federal Highway Administration. So the also we're going to have students that they are currently working in construction material suppliers, concrete, asphalt suppliers. So with the options that our graduates have is relatively is wide. I mean, it covers design, it covers construction management, and I think Bethany and Alex were they gave both of them great examples of what it is that they are doing, and then they will continue to do once they graduate. Can you please go to the next slide? So where do they work? Actually, we got our graduates working all over the U.S. and international as well. They are working contractors, agencies, consultants, right? So these are examples of firms that cover one or more of the topics that we have looked at. If you can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. And here you got some examples of our graduates, all right? So these are just a handful of them that I keep in contact with most of them after they graduate, because I want to know how they're doing, and also we invite them in many cases to our classes as guest speakers to see how they're doing and what it is that they're doing, so they can give a good idea to current students. Can you have the next slide, please? And there's okay, it's and I think that's it. Yeah. So all right. Well, thank you very much. If you got any questions about construction, feel free to ask.
Thank you. Next, I'm going to give a chance to my colleague, Dr. Ted Evans, who is the program director for the electrical engineering technology. Dr. Evans, please, if you can hear me, go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I am Ted Evans, Director of Electrical Engineering Technology Program, and the slides that you're looking at here are some advanced equipment that we have in some of our labs. And we're basically a training school for engineers to do either one of two basic areas, either power or controls. And this is an area that you would see in a factory. This is our area of controls, and we would be talking about how to automate this process. And these are some processes. They're pretty advanced processes, and we have some of these in our actual classrooms as well. And these would be things that students actually work on. Next slide. The degrees that we have, and there's really three of them, is the traditional electrical electronics degree. So if you're interested in the electrical, anything electrical, we can service that person very, 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 very well. If you're interested in controls and automation, working in an automation capacity in a manufacturing environment, we are very good at that. We have a concentration called mechatronics, and in that concentration, we are able to give you all the information and the experiences that you would need to walk in and they, like they said, very quickly get to a very good salary. It's more than salary, it's job the feeling that you're actually doing something that's very it's a good feeling to automate a machine and make it do something it's never done before. It's very popular, very good thing to do, and a lot of people are very happy in that degree. There are also people that like to walk into a power company or into a power station and be able to work there, and that's a little bit more of the mechanical side, but we have a good power group of courses, and we teach that as well. So, and those are very lucrative jobs as well. And we're the only concentration in the College of Engineering that kind of does the general degree, and it starts electrical, but we also tie in 4 mechanical courses, and it's as close as you get to a really the old-time general or electromechanical degree. You say, well, what would that be good for? You're just a generalist. You're not either electrical or mechanical. You're a little bit of both, and you are electrical and with some mechanical, but those people move more quickly, it seems, into the areas of management, because a manager is somebody that in a manufacturing facility at least can relate to both the electrical and the mechanical side and do it very well. And that's something that we've seen with that degree. We've also are adding 2 new robotics courses this year, and those are with FANUC robots, and those courses, our intent is to strengthen our robotics emphasis in the automation areas. So those are the areas that we concentrate on, and it's a very full degree, but it's also a very rewarding degree. And James Gagne is one of our graduates recently, and we've had many other people who have gone out and be very successful. And the 6-figure thing is not a pipe dream. It's real. It's out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Evans. And now I will turn it to Dr. Amy Bayan to give us some highlights on the Mechanical Engineering Technology program. Dr. Bayan, can you hear me?
Yes, hear me okay?
Yes, please go for it.
Okay, thank you everybody. Firstly, thank you for joining us tonight. This is Dr. Bayan. I'm currently serve as the program director for the Mechanical Engineering Technology program. And here we show the highlights of the program. We can tell that our focus is to keep the structural integrity. The picture shows some features. Our students could just keep all this from happening. We do that through the curriculum development. We'll cover the knowledge in material science, solid mechanics, fluid mechanics, structural design, and also we added some courses in industrial automation. Just Dr. Evans just mentioned, those 2 classes are also open to the MET students. Also, we do testing, and Shen mentioned that we do have the AutoCAD classes, 1 and advanced 1. So we have 2 classes focused on the design side, which is some of our students feel this really beneficial. Next slide, please. So career-wise, if you get a degree from MET, you could work in the automotive industry, do control and instrumentation, or you do engineering consulting, working for the government, working in the manufacturing field. Job title-wise, you could be mechanical engineer, general product engineer, project engineer, quality engineer, design engineer, manufacturing engineer, etc., etc. Just recently, we got an email from our former students. She mentioned all the titles he held in the past, so it's quite interesting. So MET graduates could work in, design focused on the jobs, or we do simulation, we do testing and quality control, etc. So proud of that. Next slide, please. Yes, where our graduates work. Here I list some of the companies, and also, except you work for public companies, small companies, you can also own your own company. I list Tom Burden. He's 2017 MET graduate. He owns his company successfully, we can tell, and so you have the chance to do that yourself. I think this is the last slide on ability program. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me or our students. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bayan. A big part of our curriculum here at the University of Toledo is to allow you to have CoOp. And there's no better person to talk about CoOp than Manarada, who is our person in charge of the CoOp program, at least in ET. Ms. Manarada, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm actually, my title is the Associate Director of Department Student Services and Engineering.
Yes, correct. I apologize. I did say that.
No, it's a big, long title. My main focus is actually, I advise most of the students here in the program. So if you need help with classes and things, I'm your person. But I'm also a liaison to our co-op office. We have an office that is dedicated just to help students find their co-ops. I kind of want to go full circle here because you've heard a lot of our current and alumni talk about their co-ops. So I thought I would take just a few minutes to briefly explain what that is, because you're probably thinking, how come some went and some didn't, and where did they go and how did they do that? So very briefly, I just want to explain what it is. We look at it as part of your education or part of your academic study, because you're learning while you're out on co-op just as you would be learning in the classroom. But the good news is that it's career related. So you will work in a position that is related to something in your career, something you're learning about, something you may be doing after you graduate. It is paid work experience, so you do get paid for it. And there's a gamut of places that you can work at. You've seen on some of these other slides, a number of businesses where our students are able to go out and do their co-op positions. The good news is like I said, it's paid, so it really helps offset the cost of college. So if you think about that, you're sort of working your way through college as you go out and go on co-op. And one of the things about the University of Toledo is that that's unique versus other universities that have engineering programs is that we offer the co-op program. Many universities have engineering programs, but they do not offer co-op. So we think this is an advantage because, let's face it, school's expensive, and this really does help you pay for your schooling as you're going through and doing co-op. So now you go to the next one. So the method that we do co-op is it's an alternating method. So we feel like you should either be full-time in school and taking classes, or you should be full-time working. We don't have you do them at the same time. We don't want you to take classes where you're out on co-op, because if you're concentrating on classes, you have a midterm the next day and you're up studying until 2 in the morning, you're going to be kind of worthless at your co-op job the next day. So we think you should focus on co-op when you're out on co-op. So that means that you're either school or you're at work. And what that does is it does lengthen the time that you're here because you're adding in some semesters of co-op. So it does take a little bit longer, but you do graduate with a year of work experience in your field. So that does give you kind of a one-up on somebody else who may just be graduating with a degree but not any experience, because you will have experience. And many times our students are hired by the companies that they go out on co-op with. So next slide. So who does co-op? How come we're hearing some do and some don't? So we have a lot of departments in the College of Engineering. On the left-hand side of the slide are listed all of our engineering science. They're the theory people, the people who dig deep and do all the research. And co-op is mandatory for them because that gives them that hands-on experience that they normally may not get in the classroom because they're looking at the theory. But for engineering technology, our programs that are listed on the right, it's optional for us because we do get that hands-on experience in labs. We don't feel like you absolutely have to go out on co-op. So if you want to go through and finish up your program in 4 years and graduate and go out and get a great job, you can do that and you don't have to co-op. But if you do decide to co-op and participate in that program, that's also an option for you. And then you do have to complete 3 co-op assignments. You can't just do 1, you have to do 3. So that's how come it adds a little bit of time. But that does include summers. Once you go out on co-op, you start out somewhere in your end of your sophomore, beginning of your junior year, and then you alternate between classes and co-op assignments. So it's a very good opportunity for our students. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So then you like our programs, you want to apply and join our programs. What next? Ryan Martindale and Gabe Lomeli will tell us the next steps.
Great. Thank you, Chair. As he said, my name is Gabe Lomeli. I'm an Associate Director in the Office of Undergraduate Admission. And so from here, what you need to apply really is what's best for you. So in other words, in addition to an application, which you can find on our website, you can also do the common application. You have the option to choose whether or not you want to include a test score as an ACT or SAT. So either way, you will receive a holistic review, and we're on rolling admissions, which means you will receive a decision as soon as possible once we have all of your materials. And you will also be test blind for merit scholarships. So test blind is where you need a minimum GPA of at least a 3.4 cumulative for that scholarship consideration. A little bit different than test optional. However, if you do have multiple test scores, so multiple ACT, multiple SATs, we will super score and select the best overall composite made up of all of the different dates that you took either test. And that super scoring will go towards admission. So again, it will not go toward merit scholarships because merit scholarships are test blind. So you want to definitely make sure that you apply early for priority financial aid consideration. And on the next slide, we'll go over some specific scholarships and also some specific deadlines for those too. So I mentioned the merit scholarship program. All you need to do to apply is with your regular admission application, no later than January 3rd of your senior year. And then there are 3 levels of those. The higher GPA, the higher that level is. They go from 3,500 to 5,000 to 6,000. So if you're wondering what our overall cost is, well, this fall it's about 24,000 for in-state students. That includes tuition, fees, room and board. And for out-of-state students, it's about 33,000. So that includes tuition, fees, room and board, and about an additional 9,000 or so out-of-state tuition charge. So for those of you that are out of state, we have the Rocket Nation Scholarship. Rocket Nation covers 8,000 of the 9,000 out-of-state charge. However, you only need a 3.0 or better GPA to qualify for that. So that's not test blind like our merit scholarships are. This is a separate scholarship program. And so that's renewable for an additional 3 years as long as you are still considered an out-of-state student. The merit scholarship program is also renewable for an additional 3 years. So let's just say you earned the 5,000, 5 times 4 is $20,000 over 4 years. The presidential scholarship does require a separate application. The merit and Rocket Nation do not. For that presidential scholarship, the deadline is December 1st. It's a full ride scholarship, full tuition, fees, room and board, and out of state for 4 years. However, it's very competitive. It is test optional, so you do need at least a 3.8 or better GPA to be competitive. It is a competition on campus if you're selected as a finalist, and there are only about a handful of students that are actually selected for that scholarship. Again, the deadline is December 1st with a separate application. It also serves as your application for the honors program as well. Levis Leadership is a leadership program for 4 years. There is $1,000 per year scholarship that goes along with that. But the true value of that program is really the leadership skills that you earn over 4 years. And the deadline for that one with the separate application is February 1st. Now, student financial aid general scholarships, those are campus-wide, multiple numbers of those. That is one application for many scholarships. That deadline is also January 3rd. And lastly, I'm sure if they haven't talked about it yet, they will. Specific College of Engineering and programs within the College of Engineering scholarships. Those are multiple, but they also have different deadlines, different applications. So definitely not the expert there. But if you do have further questions about applying, about this merit scholarship program, please don't hesitate to contact us at the Office of Undergraduate Admission. I happen to be the liaison for the College of Engineering from that office, so I'd be glad to help you as well as anyone else on our staff. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
Thanks so much, Gabe. So we're almost coming to the end, and I'll leave a few minutes for Q&A. But if you want to contact us, these are our contact information. If you have a general question, contact Ms. Manarada. CSET and IT, you can contact me. ET, you can contact Dr. Evans, and CCT, Dr. Mata, and MET, Dr. Bayan. So for the remainder of a few minutes that we have left, I want to stop sharing my screen here, and I just want to open it up if anybody has a question. So on behalf of the Department of Engineering Technology, I'd like to thank all of you for participating. I'd like to thank our panelists, the current students and former students. I'd like to thank my colleagues, and I'd like to thank all the parents and prospective students who joined us today. We value your time, we appreciate you, and we look forward to hearing from you and hopefully welcoming you to our campus. Thank you and have a great evening.